Hey, everyone. Sorry we're a little bit late. Hopefully you're still here. What's up? What's up? I'm Crescent. My co-host is Antoine.
Hey.
Our guest co-host tonight is Ms. Pepper Chambers, writer, director, having a moment. We are the Madness Collective. We do our best to recap the headlines. There's way too many. I'm sorry. We do what we can, but this is so much. Okay, so tonight, a racist attack in Wisconsin at a high school graduation. Wisconsin is where Pepper's from. We're going to have her weigh in on that. Alex Jones, dramatic as crocodile tears. Boo. Songwriter and producer The Dream hit with rape allegations. The political arena is legitimately a shit show. It's just like a fucking mess right now. So Biden pulled a Dark Brandon move on immigration. Hunter Biden's trial started. The GOP tried to embarrass Dr. Fauci and Merrick Garland on Capitol Hill this week. Also, it's time for the annual, semi-annual, I don't know, this whole conversation about hygiene and washcloths and who uses them and who doesn't has reared its ugly head again. So thanks this time to Jason Kelce, who used to play for the Eagles. He is the brother of Travis Kelce, who is dating Taylor Swift, just to help y'all figure out what we're doing. So all that more on this episode of
The Madness Collective.
Hi, Karen. Hi, Danielle. What's up, guys?
Oh, that's not right.
Pepper, where'd you go, Pepper?
Sorry, Pepper.
Yo soy aquí.
1 second.
It's okay.
There you go. Myself. Sorry.
I know you love me.
We are here. Hi, guys in the chat. So much. So Antoine, we do have a video kicked up. I did add this after I'd already put the shelf flow together, but this was trending, it was in my timeline all day long. So it's high school it's graduation time, college, high school, all the places. And in Wisconsin, was this Baraboo? Do you know where this is? Pepper? Where's this?
Well, I've never been there, but it's I know of it.
Is it northern Wisconsin, middle Wisconsin, southern Wisconsin?
It's northern-ish of Kenosha, where I'm from.
Okay. All right. So, we'll get the scene set up for you. And it's graduation. And young lady hit the stage to go shake hands with all the administrator people, because that's what you do, right? You go, hi, thank you for my diploma. Thank you. Shake, shake, shake. Picture. Well, as she was about to, no, not even actually, she didn't even get close to the superintendent, who happens to be Black. That's where the issue was. And the girl's father bum rushed the stage and took hold of him and pushed him out of the way. And he said, I didn't want that Black man shaking my daughter's hand. So, Antoine, I don't know if you have the video. I was just talking while we got it going.
Yeah, I'm going to pull it up in a minute.
Okay, cool. So where we are right now is the superintendent is seeking a restraining order against him. There was a headline that said that the guy had been arrested. He did, security did take his ass off stage, and he did. He's looking at charges. I hate that I tried to open an article that now does not want to open. Thanks. Okay. Yeah. Great. That was fun. So, yeah, again, when you guys see the video, if you guys have not seen it, hey, Colin, what's up? If you haven't seen it, you'll know what we're talking about soon. But I just can't imagine. And it's funny because everybody kept talking about, oh my God, the poor daughter, the look on her face, which, yeah, I'm sure complete embarrassment. But this white man came on stage and put his hands on this Black man. Straight up. This is 2024. This is, again, mess around and let that crazy man back in office. Way more of this, way more frequently. He already is the one who opened the door for this crazy shit. Oh, here we go. Maybe. There's a dad. There he goes. Ushering a Black man out the way.
Where's Brandon? Get away from me, bro. No. Hey, go. You need to get. Hey.
Oh, they did change. Negro.
You say Negro. You saw Negro?
What was that?
I'll rewind it.
No. Hey, go. You need to get. Hey.
It's terrible.
You see people just standing there. Hello, allies. Y'all fucking step in.
That way, Michael.
Oh, yes. Karen said this is... This is the same high school where a group of boys threw up the Hitler sign.
No.
Yeah.
in a photo shoot.
Yeah. Look at his body language. I feel so bad for him.
Well, because he probably was like, I know I can't fire on you the way I want to.
Where's Brenda?
He's like, I'm the one who's got to act like I have some sense, because the way that man was walking away, I'm like, he looked like he could put some hands on somebody.
That's embarrassing. I mean, the embarrassment too, and the anger. You know what I mean? That's that anger trapped in your shoulder. I felt so bad for him.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's who I felt bad for. Antoine, you about to say something?
No, I just wish I want the camera footage of what happened off camera. That's what I want
Me
to see.
too.
This didn't show me nothing. I just, like
Well,
if somebody
you-
didn't tell me what occurred, I would be very confused. If somebody didn't explain what it was that I just watched.
In the corner, because I did have to watch it a second time to see the white guy come on stage and then like take him by the shoulders and push him like out.
It didn't.
Back.
It didn't look aggressive though. Like if I'm going to fuck somebody up, that wasn't what it looked like. It looked like he was actually like protecting him from something. Like if I didn't hear any audio, that's what was confusing about it.
Same.
Yeah, that was a weird video. And again, under normal circumstances, I mean, I guess the superintendent has been dealing with some issues with the district anyway. But like, if somebody comes up to me and I'm standing there minding my own business and it's a white dude and he pushes me like this, we finna fight.
That's what I'm saying. You
like,
can see
that's
the
what's
body
weird.
on the superintendent walking away, like, but he realized I cannot fire off on this dude the way I should be allowed to, because you came up on stage, pushed me off away and said, I don't want you, what is it? You're not going to touch my fucking daughter. That is what he said. And the superintendent was like, no, bro, get your hands off me. Get your hands off me. Because this has been on the street. Anyway, and also this took place in front of 2,000 to 3,000 people.
Wait, 1,000?
Which also, I guess, all the more reason to put your foot in his ass. Everybody saw what happened. If that man would have whooped that white man's ass, he would not have spent any time in jail. I mean, if he had a good lawyer. I don't know. This is Wisconsin, so it's a little different.
Yeah. And also, it looks like he's the only black person on stage. So I don't know where the other black people are.
True. But this is like, I mean, it's a no, like, I don't know. Like, I mean, technically he was assaulted.
Yes, he was. He was assaulted. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So one of the parents of the graduate was charged and was physically aggressive. The security did like come up on stage and like he's been referred to the DA's office for disorderly conduct.
You know what else is the other part that's crazy about this is that at the day and age that we're in, you know, any sort of thing that happens that's out of the ordinary, you don't know what's going to happen. You know, like it's just, it's almost like people unfortunately getting shot at concerts, or people we're already like this. I am anyway, in crowds like this, and somebody to walk up. And I think that's why, Crescent, two people were I think they were shocked. We don't know what they were seeing, but that's, you know how you're just like, wait, what's actually happening? And then your brain has to catch up.
True.
It's terrible.
I will say this, because somebody mentioned this and I agree, like on a comment that I saw on Twitter, is Black people, sadly, particularly when they're in spaces that are, it's just a few of them or solely just one, we are on guard. Like no matter what, even like, it's like, okay, I'm in a safe environment, but you stay at the ready, because that is America. That's our environment. And so white people don't have to move around like that. So yeah, they were like, well, what's happening? What's going on? Like nobody's rushing to do anything except for security, because they're like, oh, we get there. There's a situation happening, but everybody else standing there like,
right? I mean, they look disgusted, but I would agree if it was us. I feel as though some folks would have moved a little bit faster for all the reasons that we need to move fast.
Yeah. No, I think he is pressing charges. Danielle says she'll be pressing charges. Well, I mean, right now he has a restraining order, so that might be the first step, and then we'll see what happens next. Oh, but absolutely pressing charges. There's a bunch of shit. Like again, don't let me catch you outside, player.
I don't. And to add on, hi Danielle, and to be the only one to be completely alienated, to be assaulted, and then have to go back on stage. We don't know what else happened after that, like to have to smile and whatever the hell in front of people again. Do you know what I mean? Like that's trauma on top of being physically touched. Now this is trauma.
This is the life of a Black person in America. Go ahead.
It's like being pulled off a plane and everybody say you stink and then you got to go back on the plane. It's like that.
That's the truth.
That's what it's like.
That's like that, Antoine.
This is the daily trauma.
Kind of is.
This is the daily trauma.
Being pulled off the plane is trauma. You were traumatized. You were unjustly targeted, right? Then you have to go back to the scene of the crime and literally, confront. You have to confront, these people who, could be responsible for the trauma because you're confused. You don't know what the fuck is going on, right? So he had to walk. That guy came and traumatized him, and then he had to walk back on stage and act like nothing had happened, just like them niggas on that plane.
Well, also, while they're being pulled off the plane, and the pilot says, yeah, they got pulled off the plane because of body odor. And then we walk their ass back on the plane to deal with these white people, like to face them. Again, trauma, reparations. This is why we deserve reparations, because this trauma is ongoing. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Colin's comment. He said, let Tim Scott and Nikki Haley explain how America was never a racist country. And we still got shit like this popping off in the year of our Lord, 2024, June. Okay. So all that.
I love that at least he was like, yo, man, get your hands off me. You know what I mean? At least
because he had to stay in corporate mode, okay?
Yeah.
Wait, yeah, did y'all see the daughter's like, what's going on with my dad? You know exactly what's going on. You know what's going on.
Her face go down like this, motherfucker.
Did you see, and the poor thing, she's like, well, I guess I'll just graduate by myself.
Well, did y'all get it? Did y'all look at any of the comments?
I look at
some.
So one of the big things in the comments, one of the big issues was everybody kept saying, I feel so bad for that girl. I feel so bad for that girl. And Black people are like, the girl wasn't assaulted. The superintendent was. Can we give that nigga some love? He's the one that's in this situation. Like, the daughter, this is probably par for
Exactly.
That's what I mentioned at the very beginning. Yeah, cats are like, we feel so bad for the daughter. And I'm just like, the Black man's the one who got put hands on him? Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
And it makes you wonder, what is the home life? Did he tell her he was going to do this? And she was like, please, Dad, don't do it. And if we'd only, like you said, Antoine, had video of the accosting, you know what I mean? If we'd been able to see that, folks might be like, that poor Black man. But no, camera stayed on her face.
Well, look, video. We saw enough to see that white man roll up on him, put his hands on his arm and chest, and push him out the way. That was enough. So they get no room. Jason's comment. Jason, I'm not playing with you right now.
Look, Jason, I was about to say something along those lines, but I was like, I don't know this girl. So sorry to this girl. I'm not go. Yeah, but Jason will go there.
So
okay. Moving on to something that's making me like joyful. Alex Jones,
joyful
on his Infowars show. Yes, it does. Him, this crocodile bullshit ass attempted dramatic. He's so goddamn dramatic. So y'all know Alex Jones got sued and they won for defamation and a bunch of other shit, and they won like $1 million in lawsuit against him. So he's had to liquidate stuff. He's had to file for bankruptcy. It's been a whole thing. And they're like, we getting our money, motherfucker. We doing it. And so the latest thing is the current bankruptcy. It's not funny, but he has there's 3 different entities, and 2 of the entities are at war with each other, and he co-owns one of them. It's a lot going on. Hella messy. Yeah. So so they're trying to figure out if Infowars itself is actually going to be liquidated and what's going to happen, because the parents are like, we're getting our money. So the judge said that it's not happening today. 2 more weeks to figure out exactly how this is going to play out. But all this to say, he was on his show just fucking hooping and hollering and acting a complete fool, which is what he does best.
I got the clip.
Okay, good.
At the end of the day, we're going to beat these people. I'm not trying to be dramatic here, but it's been a hard fight. These people hate our children.
Is he acting?
Just take my calls. Go ahead and do the next person.
Yeah, don't quit your day job because acting is definitely not. It's not your. You wasn't crying for it. That was the phone. That was some phony ass crying.
I think.
Fake as fuck.
Go ahead, Pepper.
Oh yeah, I think at the end, at first I thought he was really crying, but this time I'm like, those aren't real tears. You're a big fat weirdo. No, I mean not like I'm not fat shaming. I'm saying like big fat from when I was 12 years old.
Sure, Pepper.
So what he said, he was doing these emergency broadcasts over the weekend, and he said they're going to be shut down at any minute by the federal government, and that he urged his followers to form a human chain around his studio in Austin.
So irritating.
But when he said these people hate our children, what are you talking about? You mean your own kids who will be able to stay in their house? Is you and your businesses that are about to get shut down, player. And you got a lot of nerve talking about these people hate our children. The whole reason why you in this mess is because you said these dead children did not exist. That's the fucking problem. That's why you in this mess right now.
That message was not congruous. What do you mean? Whose children? That it made no sense at all. Alex Jones. Because it didn't make any sense. I'm like, this is dumb.
Well, it's it's part of his shtick. The controversy, because that's part of the QAnon thing is that they're trying to, with what's the product? It's something with the word chrome in it. I forget what it's called. Mm-hmm. Part of the QAnon conspiracy is that they're taking children and they're extracting this substance from their bodies to use for something nefarious. Adrenochrome. Have y'all heard of this?
You've mentioned it before.
So, the guy, Jim Caviezel, or the guy who played Jesus in The Passion of the Christ, remember he had a movie that came out last year that did really well, and it's all based on QAnon conspiracies, and it alludes to them having this cabal that kidnaps kids and extracts adrenochrome, and you can only get the adrenochrome from underage kids because adults don't produce it. Like, this is a whole thing. It's a whole thing that people believe. It's crazy. And so that's what he's alluding to. That's one of the the libs are trying to, with the pizza gate. It's so much ridiculous. Yeah, it's all part of I put this up already, but this shit was hilarious.
I know.
So many comments were like, I'm here for her giving him a bunch of mixed kids.
I saw those too, Danny. I was like, and there it is.
So, just so we're clear, liquidation could mean that Jones would have to sell most of what he owns, including his company and its assets, but he could keep his home and other personal belongings. That those things are exempt from bankruptcy liquidation. The proceeds will go to his creditors, including the Sandy Hook families. So, we'll see what happens in 2 weeks.
Does he have any children himself? Does anyone know?
I'm pretty sure he has multiple kids, yeah.
Oh, I think I knew of these too, because when all this started happening, he was yelling about that. Like, y'all trying to throw me and my kids out. Pretty sure his wife left him in like a minute ago, though. So,
yeah.
Yeah.
The karma. That's all I feel like. Is like, you made all this money off doing terrible things. It's going to be taken away from you. He'll probably make money again, but he's not going to be good for a while. And that's what you get.
This is also one of those areas where he was sent cease and desist letters multiple times. So yet again, like the convicted felon Trump, shut your goddamn mouth. Stop talking about this particular topic.
They think they're above they are, but they're above the law, and that's how that goes. And the Oscar goes to not
Pepper. Convicted felon Trump is not above the law. Convicted felon 34.
Well, that's what I'm saying. They are no longer above the law. The law has fallen. It's lower than our 50-year-old boobs. How about that?
Wait, what?
Mine.
Thank you. He has 4 kids.
I was trying to be funny. My boobs are not that low yet.
It's okay. They're not big enough to be low, so I'm not going to have that problem.
Welcome, everybody, to the Titties Show. Okay, the Titties episode.
I won't do that.
Oh, wait. Like, Oh,
What?
speaking of, just when you thought Twitter couldn't get any more ridiculous, Elon Musk is allowing porn to just officially be like on the site. It was already on there.
It was already there.
Now it's official. Bring it.
Well, because it's so bad now. Like I'll be on a post, and I'm reading the post, and it's some shit direct. Like, let's say it's Cameron on that lady's show. Okay, I'll be scrolling down, and all of a sudden, it'll be a black woman playing with her pussy just right there in the feed. And it's gotten worse since Elon took over. Before, that was rare. Few and far between. Now probably every third one I go down. If I scroll down more than a couple units, I'm gonna see a pussy or a dick pop up in the feed.
Here's the thing. Real talk, if you land yourself on a sexy red post and you scroll down too far, you're absolutely seeing porn. 100%. So, right. So the headline is this wasn't shuffle, but just mention it because Pepper almost flashed us. X allows consensual adult nudity, pornographic content under updated policy. So, and people, that's where he was headed anyway, with calling it X now. Go ahead, Pepper.
Oh, X, yeah. I technically don't mind. I'm just thinking of my 15-year-old nephew. Like, okay, there's your education. You know what I mean? And then, Antoine, if you feel like answering, do you happen to potentially watch porn on your phone? And like, is it coming up or not? You don't have to answer. But I'm just wondering, because I don't see it as much, but sometimes it'll be there. But I'm like, is it because of our habits, or are we just all going to be seeing porn now?
You're going to be seeing porn now. Normally the way it works is on Twitter, like if there's a porn star that you like, they'll have a Twitter page and you go to the page and it'll be the trailers. They'll tell you, hey, I just filmed a collabo with such and such. So it's a way to keep their fans enticed as opposed to how porn used to work. You just, shit would just pop up. The porn stars didn't have a direct connection with the fans. And obviously all that changed with OnlyFans. But they all use it. That's why a lot of the big name porn companies are struggling because the actors have found their own niche. Right. Instead of having to go through the middleman. So Twitter was a big part of that before OnlyFans blew up because Twitter has always allowed porn. But it used to be like, there used to be more of a filter going on so that when somebody tried to put porn in a post that was not pornographic, it would get removed almost immediately. Now that shit just be sitting there.
Whoop. Yep. For sure.
It just be sitting there. So more Twitter, more fun for us, I guess.
Talk to your children about what vaginas are.
Sure. Yes. Yeah. Okay. So The Dream, R&B star and singer-songwriter. I'm sorry. Does he sing? He's a songwriter and producer. My bad.
Yeah. He definitely sings.
That's what I thought he did, but I'm not calling to mind any songs. He has an interesting looking face. I'm gonna say that. Do you know how to pronounce his real name? Tyrius. I could not.
He changed his name.
It's French.
I don't know why.
Is that what it is? I was like, what is this?
He changed it. That wasn't his original name. He changed his name. His first name is Tyrius, I think. His old last name was something simple. He just changed it to this new shit. I swear for God, he recently changed his name for some reason. I don't have any explanation for why he did it though.
So the first name Terius, but then what I'm struggling with is GESTEELDE DIAMANT.
That's the new name.
Yeah.
I'm assuming it's got something to do with a situation where similar to what's happening with Brad Pitt and his kids.
Oh.
All Brad Pitt's kids have rejected him and have removed his name. They are no longer Jolie Pitt. They are all just Jolie now. The first one to do it was
the oldest one. Zahara.
Pax never took his last name because she had Pax before she got with Brad Pitt, and that relationship just never took. He never saw Brad Pitt as his father. But they have, I believe, 3 adopted and 3 together. And I think all of them but one don't have his last name. So I'm saying, I think maybe that's what happened here is there probably is one of those situations. Sometimes people do it later in life where they reject a parent for something that happened. That's my only guess. But it's weird that it's a hyphenated name, but maybe his mother's maiden name is hyphenated.
So it's Terrius Young Dell Nash is the name.
Yeah, Nash is his original last name.
Young Dell Nash. I'm Googling to see if
you go to Wiki, it's Terrius Adamu Ya Justel, whatever the fuck that shit is. Dude.
I'm thinking Justilda Diamond.
Anyway,
go
he's
on.
now facing rape allegations. Okay, so and you know, of course, the headlines are like he's worked with Beyonce, Rihanna, Mariah Carey, Justin Bieber, Britney Spears, 8 Grammys, nominated for 21 times. Anyway, Tuesday, this motherfucker was accused of rape, physical assault, and psychological manipulation by a former protege. Here's another name, Shanaz Mangro.
That's the woman.
Mangro. She filed suit in LA against the Dream Epic Records and a company that is co-owned by the Dream, Contra Paris. She alleges that he, of course, made her a bunch of promises about what he was going to do for her career. And then he proceeded to abuse her, rape, strangle, allegedly made a video of a sexual encounter that he then threatened to show people. They were connected initially through an associate of his.
Are we talking about the Dream, or are we doing a rehash of what Puffy did? This sounds exactly like what Puffy did to Cassie. Identical.
Okay, so apparently this is the blueprint. This is
yes.
They got to fucking outline it. They just pass around fucking monsters.
Terrible.
So she alleges that he almost immediately began pressuring her to have sex after meeting her, saying that sex with him was part of the process. Within days of their first meeting, she alleges that he locked her in a dark room at a house with a recording studio where he would only stop aggressively having sex with her once she said that she loved him. He frequently forced her into violent sex. He refused to wear a condom. He was like throwing alcohol down her throat. It's gross. Like it's the allegations are, like Antoine noted, same with Cassie. They're just horrible. She says she's choosing to speak out about the trauma I survived as being one of the most difficult decisions of her life. Ultimately, what Dream did to me made it impossible to live the life I envisioned for myself and to pursue my goals as a singer-songwriter. Ultimately, my silence has become too painful, and I realize I need to tell my story to heal. I hope that doing so will help others and prevent horrific future abuse.
That's fucked up. And also recognize that the Dream is like one of R. Kelly's proteges. So the apples never fall, I guess. Because when the Dream first came out, he was considered one of those artists that kind of ripped off R. Kelly's style, but he was really good at songwriting, so they started collaborating together. And also remember, he's also part of that weird-ass relationship between Nivea, Lil Wayne, and all them kids. It's and then he was married to Christina Milian. And remember, look, Christina was like, I'm finna blow up, because y'all know she's never blown up. She's always been about to, and then, you know, she got some movies, but it just never popped for her like that. And so she hooked up with the Dream, and you know, and they used to say people were fucking for tracks. So she got with the Dream, and then she released an album called Elope that he did. And right after the album came out, they broke up, and the album didn't do shit. It was terrible. I always feel bad for her.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I mean, if you do think about this from the standpoint of grooming, like you said, Antoine falling, from the tree, and think about the ripple effect of all of this that's going on behind the scenes. It's Christina's album not pop because of what was happening to her. And do you know what I'm saying? Like what's really going on now?
He's an executive. He's an executive, so he could pull a Tommy Mottola on her. So that may be why it never popped. Yeah.
All these women trying to have careers and look at what's happening to them.
Yeah. And what he may have been putting her through behind closed doors. Who knows what trauma she dealt with. So
yeah, because she's definitely talented. She pretty, she talented, she can sing and dance. Can't nobody take that away from her. It almost feels like, something behind the scenes was going on, and I mean that could be part of what happened.
Yeah. Lisa says, "Hi Pepper, loving the red lip." Just so you know.
Oh, thanks, Lisa.
Moving on to the political arena, immigration. So Biden pulled a Dark Brandon, also sadly kind of pulled some shit that Trump did, but not quite as gross. But via executive order, he's like, this is how I'm going to handle the border because you motherfuckers do not want to cooperate. Okay. We put a bipartisan bill together that was giving y'all anything y'all like the most of y'all was ever going to get in a deal with the Democrats, and y'all let Trump shut it down. So convicted felon Trump shut it down. So here we are, right? And look, this debate is around the corner. I'm tired of y'all motherfuckers talking about the border's out of control. I mean, it is completely out of control. So he's like, I got to do what I got to do. So it's, this is what he said. He's like, I'm moving past Republican obstruction and I'm using the executive authorities available to me as president to do what I can on my own to address the border. So what it is that it's barring migrants who cross the border illegally from seeking asylum. It's a departure from a decades-long protocol, and typically a Democrat would not have done this. So once a daily threshold is met. So unless they can meet certain exemptions, migrants will be turned away to Mexico or returned to their origin country. Also, the measure can be turned on and off, right? So there's some flexibility there. Senior administration officials told reporters that it can be lifted when there's a daily average of less than 1,500 encounters in between the ports of entry. The other thing that's going to happen is the numbers do an uptick during the summer months. So again, I think this is like, let's get out ahead of this. Unlike what happened with fucking Trump's punk ass. And this was because the progressives are up in arms about it, which I understand. Right. Sorry. We in a bad situation right now, okay? And we got to do all that we can to keep crazy man out of the office. So if people got to handle shit they got to handle, we got to just do what we can. So this is what he says to progressives. Biden said, for those who say the steps I've taken are too strict, I say to you that be patient, and the goodwill of the American people is wearing thin right now. Doing nothing is not an option. We have to act. We must act consistent with both our law and our values as Americans. I take these steps today, not to walk away from who we are as Americans, but to make sure we preserve who we are for future generations to come. He was like, I will never demonize immigrants. I will never refer to immigrants as poisoning the blood of our country. I will never separate children from their families. I will not ban people from this country because of their religious beliefs. I will not use the military to go into neighborhoods, rounding motherfuckers up. Okay. I'm not putting anybody in detention camps. Like, hello, I'm not doing none of that. We just have to get something in place because this shit is about to be chaos over the summer and we can't have that. So,
yeah. Yeah.
Exactly. Right, Antoine? Yeah.
I'm exhausted with the election stuff. It's just
oh my God,
because a person that's from the outside looking in, if you're not biased towards either side, this does feel like some shit that dropped, right before the debate. I am doing something. Y'all keep saying I ain't doing shit. I am doing something. So yeah, the timing is interesting. And also, when you consider the fact that the Democrats would have shitted all over this, well, they did shit all over it when Trump did the same thing. So, but I understand his reasoning. He's saying that this is an extreme circumstance because you motherfuckers won't come together and figure this shit out. So,
try to.
Yeah.
You have Republicans out there going, yeah, we had a bipartisan bill. Trump killed it.
Yeah.
Like, you have Republicans saying, I get it. So, look, sorry, difficult decisions got to be made. Sorry, welcome to the real world. Like, that's the thing. That's the sad part, but something has to be done. So here we are. Look, give us that White House back. Let us have Congress. We can get a real fucking immigration bill together. Like that can happen. That can happen. Take back the House, keep the Senate, keep the White House.
How long would that take?
It could happen in January.
Okay, so it could happen in January, and then real talk, like when it would be enforceable or whatever. Like when?
I mean, money's bill would get passed. Everybody, bill would get proposed. It would get passed. Hell, as soon as the funds are allocated, if the bipartisan deal had gone forward like a couple months ago, you would have more resources at the border right now. Like right now.
Definitely, yeah, definitely.
And that was 6 months ago?
No, maybe
no,
2.
it wasn't 6. It was 2.
Yeah,
Was it only June?
this year?
Yeah.
Because it's just June.
Oh my
so
God.
Because
maybe
remember,
2
everything fell apart because Trump, remember, that was just a couple
Yeah.
months ago. Trump called everybody and said, don't move on this bill. Wait till I win
Right.
the election. And it had already been bouncing back and forth like a fucking ping pong ball. But then the Democrats conceded all this shit. And then it was like, okay, we gave y'all what y'all wanted. Let's get it moving because shit is wild out here in these streets. And that's when Trump decided to tell everybody to fall back. Yeah. So, yeah, that was all recent.
Okay. It just felt longer ago. I was just imagining the world when something could happen that is beneficial to the people who are trying to have a life.
None of
Wouldn't
this
that
is
be
great.
nice?
None of this is easy. This shit is complicated. Leaders have to make calls, and you hope that somebody with at least some compassion, who's a good person, will be making the call, not deliberately separating children from their parents, not deliberately banning certain religious groups, deliberately making the problem way worse. Like this, what he did, what Trump did, horrible. This is not ideal, but we got to figure some shit out. So
all those kids, there's somewhere around 1,000, somewhere between 1,000 and 2,000 of those kids still have not been. Some of them, they can't find them. They don't know what to do. And then some of them
keep the records. They deliberately did not keep the records.
I told y'all about this story before. I was listening to NPR, and they interviewed a father who was reunited with his son. And when his son was like, he tried to come over with his son initially, and they got separated, and his son was a child. By the time they got reunited, his son was a teenager, and it was like weird. They didn't know each other. They had to rebuild their relationship from scratch. So it's like there's an emotional, mental, physical, probably, a toll on all the above when these families are reunited.
Deliberate.
Yeah.
It was everything they're saying was by design.
Yeah. Well, you dehumanize them and, you tried to come over here, fuck you and your kids. That's basically the attitude.
So, Antoine and I are doing our best to just make sure we say convicted felon Trump. And so, some of the news this week was, we gonna help you with that. So we have a video from Colin Cowherd, who I used to refer to as Whitey McWeister because the show that he was on. Sorry, he was very pale. His hair was silver.
Oh, you just talking about his look. He was really white. Okay.
Yeah, and he was talking about sports stuff, and I was like, I don't know nothing about that. So, but lately, this
guy. You call him Whitey McWeister?
Yeah. Now he got a little bit more color. Maybe he got some sun. So.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and play it.
Okay.
Well, Donald Trump is now a felon. His campaign chairman was a felon. So is his deputy campaign manager, his personal lawyer, his chief strategist, his national security advisor, his trade advisor, his foreign policy advisor, his campaign fixer, and his company CFO. They're all felons. Judged by the company you keep. It's a cabal of convicts. Stop trying to sell me on everything's rigged.
Paradise.
So, yeah, it just clicked. When I saw this the first time, I'm like, oh, we don't get flagged for playing the Coolio song. And then I realized why they played that Gangster's Paradise, because they all gangsters.
Paradise.
Oh my goodness.
So then also, Ari Melber had a lovely chart, lovely graphic that he put up yesterday that I retweeted that we also have ready to go. I
appreciate that.
Judging people by the company you keep, your whole crew.
Yeah.
Hey, none of those people can vote. They can't vote now.
So it's the second one, Antoine.
It was rampant. It was a crime spree. So if you fill it in, you see the convictions and judgments.
This is not supposed to be. Okay, here we go. It's not letting me.
Atop these three organizations that are writing convictions over the last 7 years is revealing. It adds a legal finding to what was honestly.
Can y'all hear it?
We can hear it. It's just the convicted part looks crazy.
So if you fill it in, you see the convictions and judgments for crimes.
Here it comes. There it is.
20 lost there, the 2020 campaign. And as those cases grind on, I want to show you on the right there, those are just the convictions. We would not have room on the screen to list all the individuals indicted. Some of whom had direct contact with Trump and the campaign as top aides, some of whom include electors and others more scattered around the country who were more responding indirectly. It means they didn't have access to Trump in the White House, but we would have many, many more faces. So together, you see this as a criminal set of enterprises with Donald Trump convicted at the top. Trump's role atop these three organizations that are rife with convictions over the last 7 years is revealing. It adds a legal finding to what was honestly once a more circumstantial take. It was rampant crime spree.
Okay, yeah, we know the audio vote. No, I'm sorry. But
Okay.
yeah, I just wanted to get out like Ari's presentation of the crime family, the criminal enterprise chart.
The flow chart. Oh my God. The organizational chart.
Can't they do like some RICO shit with this somehow? Like,
Atlanta,
can a lawyer get
Georgia.
creative?
Georgia. She brought RICO charges in Georgia.
This looks just like what Young Thug is on trial for. It looked like the same thing.
That's why Fonnie pulled the cases she pulled together. RICO charges. That's exactly
true.
why. Because that's why I was like, however many, like 19 of them, 8, I don't know. It was a lot of them. And people started like, go ahead and getting some plea deals.
Ari said we ain't got enough screen space. He said we ain't got enough screen space.
That was really funny.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So just, again, just keeping in mind convicted felon, cabal of convicts. Just want to make sure you have that visual in your head. All right, Hunter Biden. So, the Republicans keep talking shit about Trump's trial. It was a sham, like weaponization of the government, whatever. Meanwhile, Hunter Biden is on trial for some shit that people normally do not get charged for on this level. Normally you get a slap on the wrist, you get a fine, maybe probation. And they had a plea deal initially, but that shit fell apart for reasons. So right now at issue is whether or not he lied on a gun purchase application in 2018, where he said he wasn't using drugs. So the question on the question is whether the buyer was an unlawful user of unlawful user of or addicted to marijuana, stimulants, narcotics, or any other controlled substance. An unlawful user of or addicted to. So can I be a casual lawful user of? Like what? Just the question itself is like, what are we talking about? And so then, so he's accused of lying to a federally licensed gun dealer. He's making a false claim on application, and he illegally had the gun for 11 days. You talk about a bullshit case. This is a bullshit case. So the first lady, his stepmom was there. Unlike with Trump, when motherfuckers didn't want to show up for him in court, at least he had some family members. And then prosecution had the ex-wife and one of the ex-girlfriends who were witnesses. So ex-wife said she found crack pipes and other drug para. She admitted she never saw him using drugs. And, Antoine and I have talked about this before when they kept putting up these big ass pictures of him during the hearings in Congress with him in a bubble bath, like just wildness. So they still talk about that nonsense. There was a dancer from a strip club. This is in 2017, who said, "Yeah, I saw him, pull out a pipe and assumed he was smoking crack." Then she says he was incredibly charming and charismatic and friendly. I felt really safe around him. I remember after he smoked it, nothing had changed. He was still the same charming person. Pepper your face. So, but again, she said,
Oh no.
Oh, is she frozen for you, Pepper?
Yes, she's frozen.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, she's still frozen. There you go.
I tried to get out ahead of that. So, if convicted, he could face up to 25 years in prison. Although first-time offenders do not get anywhere near the maximum, and it's unclear whether the judge would even give him time behind bars. So,
what? We could play that. We could play the clip where there's a Republican who actually says they full of shit.
You can start at the 40 something mark.
Your thoughts about the difference between Trump trying to get a fair trial in New York City and Biden's trying to get
Yeah, I didn't care about that part. Right there.
Last name is. I did gun prosecutions for 6 years. I went after convicted felons. I went after people who were fugitives from justice. I went after lots of different people who are prohibited from possessing a firearm. But I'll bet you there weren't 10 cases prosecuted nationwide of addicts or unlawful drug users who possess firearms or lied on applications. I bet there weren't a dozen, which makes you wonder, of all the cases you could be pursuing in Delaware, why are you pursuing this one?
Your thought is about
real quick.
I think if this were...
I want to nominate this motherfucker as the new Whitey McWhitey. What the fuck is... Look, I don't even want to talk about Hunter no more. What is going on with this nigga's face?
I don't
What
know.
is that?
The hair, his nose, them ears. It's a whole... It's a little
That's
terrifying.
a good amount of makeup.
What is happening?
Tony said, what the fuck? The absolute
What
fuck is that?
the fuck is that? What is happening?
He looks very interesting.
I'm looking at him. You know. I start thinking of X-Files. I'm like, aliens are real. Like, what the fuck?
I know they are real. It's crazy.
Look at this shit, dude. Wait, let's see it move. Let's see it while it's moving.
For Hunter Jones or Hunter Smith,
What
you and I
in
would be
the
talking
fuck?
about something else this morning.
Oh my
Oh,
god. Oh
He's
my
probably-
god.
Yeah, Jason said he looks like a cartoon.
Huh?
Jason said he looks like a cartoon.
You being real, like you're being really what's the word? Generous. Yeah.
Diplomatic right there.
Kind.
And his name is Trey Gowdy. That's not helping him. Like that's not. That's
no. And you know what? The way I am these days, because of how these internets work,
yes,
I'm gonna find out why that motherfucker look like that, and we
This
gonna
is what
discuss it next week, next episode.
Okay,
I'm gonna find
good.
out.
So, to his point, once we, stop getting distracted by the look of him. But again, Hunter, there was an opinion piece that talks about Hunter Biden trial shows America's justice system isn't so rigged after all, right? So the same media outlets and figures who have told their audiences that there's a two-tier justice system in America are now prominently covering a trial in which Biden's own son, Biden's own Justice Department is prosecuting his son. If Biden is rigging the justice system, he's doing a lousy job, right? Like this, but again, anything that's coming out of a fucking Republican's mouth is just bullshit. So whatever. I do love this part. Biden's current wife approached this guy named Ziegler, pointing a finger at him and said, "You have no right to be here, you Nazi piece of shit." Then she walked away. Went to the courtroom, sat down next to her mother-in-law. So apparently, though, he's been the leader of discussing and displaying any and all embarrassing information about Hunter. So she's like,
yeah, he was the one with the laptop.
Mm-hmm.
And didn't I read he started Marco Polo, which means we technically should not be using that platform anymore.
Funny thing, I never use it. I hate it when people would send me, "Hey, join Marco Polo." Absolutely.
Oh, shit. Sorry.
Pepper.
I'm so sorry. There's a it's only a cricket, but it's on the wall. I'm so sorry.
I thought we was finna have a fucking Wendy Williams moment. It was
I am so sorry, but I've never had a cricket in here. I don't know where it came from. It scared the shit out of me because
we'll do it live
in Arizona. I thought it was something else. Please continue. He's in the other room. Come get it. Carry on. It's a cricket.
Pepper.
Oh, Max Headroom. Yes, that's who he looks like.
Pepper, can you text Matt and tell him to come get the cricket? Crickets don't bite, Pepper, by the way.
I know, but I don't like it. Can I
just want to take this moment to, mention the
I
irony that during a live taping, we have a moon cricket that just showed up on the wall. The moon cricket.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so y'all remember the laptop. So the guy she called a Nazi is the one that got a hold of the laptop and put all the information online in a fucking searchable database. So that's the one where I saw the footage of him with the Asian woman who was giving him you know what a hand job is. She's giving him a foot job. And so when she was doing it, she's like, I didn't even know my feet could do that. Video is ratchet. And they smoking crack. Well, I don't remember if the Asian woman was smoking crack, but Hunter is definitely getting high as fuck. He getting lit. He getting nice in this fucking video. But I ain't been fun because this whole thing is so full of shit for wasting resources. This is clearly, being retaliatory, trying to embarrass him and his father. But what is Hunter's defense? Is he saying I wasn't on drugs when I got the gun? Is that what he's saying?
Partly because here's the thing. They have to prove that he was unlawfully using and or addicted to drugs in 2018 when he signed this form. How you going to do that?
They can't do it.
That's 2017, 2015. And she admits, she's like, I didn't see him in 2018. So literally you would have to be I saw him do crack as he was walking into the gun store, right? As far as I can tell.
So now the scandalous part of this, because I don't know, y'all know Hunter started fucking his brother's widow.
Yes.
When she was dead?
No.
The what? No. When his brother died of cancer. So I've heard people refer to it as an affair, and I'm like, it's not an affair. They were two adults, and she was no longer married. It was weird that it was, but when people are grieved, that this type of thing actually happens a lot more often. This is not dissimilar to what happened with Fauci and the nigga that she hired to prosecute Donald Trump. You work in close quarters. You dealing with, so it's not that unusual, but so it's my understanding that during their brief, whatever you want to call it, she was the one who somehow got a hold of the gun and disposed of it. But she was basing that on his previous drug use, correct?
Yeah, I mean,
she never saw him do drugs in her person, in person. So she was making an assumption.
There was a reference to them doing crack together at some point. Don't know when, but when he brought the gun home, she took it and threw it away, and then I think she told the police. So then they found it. So that's why they're like, he only had it for 11 days. It's she was like, you don't need to own a gun. You don't need to have this gun.
See, this is the part that's confusing to me. So were they dating when she took the gun?
I believe so, yes.
Okay, so that seems like that's bad for his case because when they dated briefly, she ended up briefly addicted to crack. So if she took the gun from him while they were dating, that's when she was on crack. So he probably was doing drugs when he had the gun based on his relationship with his brother's widow. Whoever thought that sentence would come out of their mouth. He probably was on crack when his brother's widow, who he was dating, found the gun and threw it in the dumpster and then called the cops. The fuck?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm just double checking. I'm trying to find that part in the article. But it's still though, how do you prove, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that he was unlawfully and or addicted to drugs at the time that he purchased this gun? I'm curious how they're going to do this. I'm curious how they're going to do this.
Okay, so now, see, that's the lawyer in you talking. Because I'm just trying to think logistically. So what you said is the key. When you get the gun, you have to not be on drugs. People get guns not being on drugs and then go on drugs after they get the gun. Is that an offense? You just can't be on drugs when you get the gun, right?
Well, so, right. You can't be unlawfully or addicted to a controlled substance, right? Tony said holding a gun when you're a felon is automatically 5 years, but I don't think he was a felon at the time.
He wasn't a felon. Yeah, he wasn't a felon
at the time. So, right.
They only have him. This is really frivolous because this is how you know they grasping at straws, because when Whitey McWhitey said we only go after dangerous criminals that engage in this type of activity. we don't go after people who are addicted to drugs. It's a waste of resources. And he didn't do anything with the gun. So,
No,
yeah.
so I found an important article. So they will also get details on how Beau Biden's widow, Haley Biden, became addicted to crack during a brief relationship with Hunter after her husband's death. So not clear on the timeline there.
Right.
But she did take the gun away from Hunter and she tossed it into the garbage by a market, afraid of what he might do with it. And then the weapon was later found by someone collecting cans, and then it was eventually turned over to the police. So this whole process was like 11 days. So what are we talking about? Like, why are we bothering this man? This is the definition of some frivolous bullshit, right? All this shit that they were yelling about with this Trump case, several Trump cases, like this is sham, this is whatever. No, he committed crimes. Whole paper trail, full paper trail of his shit. This is nonsense. Why, to your point, Antoine, why are we wasting resources? And then he's got
they can't. There's no drug test. There's nobody who was there with him the day of. So all you can go on is his word. The person who says that he signed the document, all he said was he knew what he was signing. He didn't say he looked like he was on drugs when he signed it. So unless you got a blood test, this is stupid. He could have literally not been, as long as he, to himself, did not consider himself to be a drug addict when he signed them papers. If he went and did drugs the next day, he's still good. So yeah, nobody can prove this. This is dumb as fuck.
So they do discuss his memoir where he does talk about his addiction. But again, and it was in the period in which the gun was bought, but it doesn't mention the weapon, directly. Right. And Tony said this, it's going to come down to how the jury interprets addict. His drug history is long, and most people say that addiction is lifelong once it starts. So they're just long or short periods of sobriety. But again, like if I'm his lawyer, that's what I'm arguing. I'm like, hell, he could have had a chip for fucking 30 days. You don't motherfucking know.
And he's sober now. So like he's proven that he's capable of being sober. So, but you're right, Tony. That is what they're gonna go for. They're gonna basically argue you've always been addict. Because when you talk to people who are in Narcotics Anonymous or Alcoholics Anonymous, they'll tell you I'm always gonna be an addict. So
yeah. No, I don't know. It's just, but it is typically like our new Whitey McWeister person said, with the hair.
I'm gonna get to the bottom of that shit. Trust.
Typically, cases like this does not move forward. This is bullshit. So, also bullshit. These congressional hearings. So they dragged Dr. Fauci out and Merrick Garland. So Dr. Fauci came voluntarily. I would not have. Republicans say wild shit, which is what they do. Fauci was like, look, y'all call certain things that y'all talking about seriously distorted. Democratic Congressperson Ruiz said, after 15 months, the select subcommittee does not possess a shred of evidence to substantiate these extreme allegations Republicans have levied against Dr. Fauci for nearly 4 years. Fucking Marjorie Taylor Greene said his license should be revoked and he should be in prison. She refused to call him a doctor. She was stopped by a chair by another Republican who said, lack of decorum. Like they tired of her shit too. So some key substantive takeaways is he forcefully denied meddling in research regarding COVID origins. And it's interesting because, back when we were talking about COVID a lot, he was like, I never said that it didn't happen in a lab. He said he told scientists, pursue that. If that's what you think may have happened, like go forth and figure that shit out. Personally, he maintains that he thinks it was more of a natural occurrence, but he never said that he was like, no, it didn't. It was not this. He's like, go where the research said you.
He didn't know.
Yeah. He said they alleged that he used his private email for some shit. He said, I did not. There was an advisor that did it. I don't know that motherfucker like that. Like we was cool, but I wouldn't open his correspondence.
Yeah, that's the part. I mean, the reaching is just so. They're like, your guy over here was doing some like clandestine shit with his private email. What about you? And he's like, just because that nigga did it don't mean I'm over here pulling a Hillary Clinton. So right. What the fuck? What the fuck?
That's like me working with Pepper and Pepper over there doing some shady shit. I'm like, I don't know what she's doing.
Chasing crickets and shit. You like, I don't do that.
I acted alone.
Like Pepper gonna call him this fucking cricket tried to kill me and I was taping. We got it on tape. My mom is the same. My mom is scared of butterflies, nigga. I've seen my mother almost punch herself in the eye trying to get away from a fucking butterfly before. And I remember I'm standing there, I'm like, what is wrong with you? What is wrong? It's a butterfly.
And I don't think she's watching tonight, but Angie and Spiders has almost killed us in a car when she saw, and I'm like, Angie, we gonna die with the spider. Like, stop, just stop, okay?
Spiders,
surprise.
Spiders and cars. Spiders and cars are, because a friend of mine told me, he said I was driving and I kept I saw some in my peripheral vision, and he said he had a little bit of a mini fro, and he said next thing he know, a spider just crawled down the front of his fro right onto his head while he was driving. He said he damn near killed himself.
Yes, I understand a crazy response, but this instant, I was like, okay, how about you not kill us? We calmly pull the car over and then we figure this shit out because it's terrifying. Moving on. Fauci. So they also was trying to talk about the social distancing, mask, and vaccine mandates. And, they were like, where does this whole 6 feet social distancing shit come from? He was like, look, we was trying to figure this shit out. 4,000, 5,000 people was dying per day. Okay?
Yeah.
He was like, I didn't come up with that on my own. The CDC, there was based on some droplet research. We were figuring it out as we were going along. And next time, will we do something different? Probably, right? We would examine how we handled it and then figure out where to make adjustments. The fuck?
Yeah, because we did learn that the 6 feet wasn't as effective as they thought it was. The droplet thing, they kind of had that wrong. And what some people are arguing, which I think it's unfair because it was unknown territory. Just the idea that something is a respiratory, it's people eject the virus through, Yeah, so it makes sense. Even if you don't have a clinical trial proving it, until you figure it out, it's basically, stay the fuck away from each other. I don't think that's bad advice. And to me, 3 feet ain't shit. When stay 3 feet from each other. What the fuck? I can spit on you from 3 feet away.
6 feet.
Yeah, because one thing that I heard on NPR was that this guy, he was like, yeah, some of the things may have caused, they were explaining with schools. A lot of schools didn't have the resources to be able to separate kids by 6 feet. And if they did, sometimes they shut the school down, or some people would keep their kids out of school. So they were saying if they had changed that to 3 feet, then it might have been something that things may have popped off in a different way than they did. But again, shit, we don't fucking know. Who knows?
Right. And then he said when he was asked if social distancing requirements and other public health measures to reduce transmission save lives, he was like, definitely. Again, literally people were dropping crickets or flies or whatever.
Yeah.
Dying. Yes. Karen said she was driving a bus when the roads dropped out on a vent onto her lap. She was scared she was going to crash the bus.
Terrible.
Now I'm that way with roaches. My mama is with butterflies. When I see a roach outside, my day ain't right for the rest of the day. I don't want to see them.
Right here.
Exactly. You just don't know there. You want to be surprised by stupid shit like that. Oh.
Yeah. It's also, and the roach thing it's a cultural thing with that because, everybody that either had roaches at one point or they had to be at a family member's house who always had them. So
we've all been there.
I remember we had this is wild. We had, let's just say we knew somebody in the neighborhood and they asked to borrow our blender because they was making something right. And we knew they had roaches, right? So we loaned them the blender.
No loan. That's a gift.
Look, when we got the blender back, my father took it and he put it inside of a trash bag and he pushed all the air out of it and he sealed it. We opened that bag back up about 3 days later. It was 6 dead roaches in the bag.
There weren't, Antoine.
Yeah, there were. They just went right in the blender when soon as that's when you know somebody got an infestation.
Oh my God.
Yeah, roaches. That's a whole episode. Remember Kim Zolciak when Nene Leakes had a party at a house, and Kim had been on Real Housewives of Atlanta for a while, and then when she went in, it was a bug, and it was, look, niggas know what roaches look like. So it was a bug, and Kim and her daughter were like, they implied that it was roaches, and Nene was like, yeah, she's so racist, you know what that means for black people saying somebody got roaches, you know what that mean in the hood, and this, that, and the third. Yeah, we gonna have to have a roaches episode.
I don't really want to, but later. Okay, maybe. Danielle says she would like to maintain the 6 feet social distancing. I know that's right.
Yeah.
Antoine, then the last thing, Antoine, if you want to pull up the Jamie Raskin video. But the last thing Fauci talked about were the death threats against his family. He got choked up talking about that. It's like, this man literally has served this country, the AIDS epidemic, all this shit, world renowned, graduated top of his class at Cornell, and he got to be sitting here talking to these Neanderthals. Like, it is sad. That's why I wouldn't have came. I'm scared of you motherfuckers. Like,
how much he aged? Did you see how much he's aged? Like,
his whole head is white now. Yeah,
horrible.
Obama, have y'all seen Obama done lost hair? It's like he is. Woo! They put his ass through the ringer.
Yeah, that's what happens.
That's what happens when you're president. The stress.
Okay.
So Jamie Raskin has some.
I got it.
Yeah,
Raskin been in the news cycle because he was.
That's my guy. That's my dude.
He wasn't he the first one to. He giggled at the bleach blonde bad Bill Bush, but yeah.
One of these.
Yeah, it took him a minute. He was like, oh, now I know what's happening.
Can you imagine sitting there?
There you go. And hey, y'all, last time, sorry, the audio was low because that was somebody taking a video of a video, and that's why that volume was low when Ari was, reading off all the gangster shit.
So, sorry.
Sorry about that. All right, here we go.
I want to join my colleague from Florida in apologizing to you that some of our colleagues in the United States House of Representatives seem to want to drag your name through the mud. They're treating you, Dr. Fauci, like a convicted felon. Actually, you probably wish they were treating you like a convicted felon. They treat convicted felons with love and admiration. Some of them blindly worship convicted felons. I want to join my colleagues from Florida.
Filth, nigga. For the filth. For filth.
I love him.
For filth.
Wait, we got another one from Eric Swalwell because he's another one who's like becoming with it. So then they was like, they had Merrick Garland. They dragged him in there the next day. And Merrick Garland said, and here's the thing, the whole conversation about this is the Justice Department being weaponized and like, this whole being pissed off about a couple things. One, obviously the Trump shit, but also that Merrick refuses to hand over the audio recordings of that Robert Hur, special counsel Robert Hur conversation he had with Biden. He's like, y'all got the transcript. I'm not giving y'all the motherfucking audio. Hilarious, Matt said. I thought the cricket was something else. So Merrick Garland was like, y'all not getting the audio. Y'all got the transcript. That's all you're going to get. He said, and I quote, I will not be intimidated. Republicans kept talking about how their nominee is now a convicted felon. And he was like, the DOJ is completely independent from Manhattan DA's office. Literally, he had to talk like he's talking to complete fucking idiots. He was like, the Manhattan District Attorney has jurisdiction over cases involving New York state law, completely independent of the Justice Department, which has jurisdiction over
that
cases
part.
involving
Look, because y'all, I'm all like, that's why we started late. I'm off my game today. So even my off my game ass reading the article, I was like, what the fuck he got to do with what's happening in New York? Why are they putting that on this man? He ain't got nothing to do with that.
He ain't got shit to do with it. Not one goddamn thing. They're just trying to embarrass him. So what's up, Chavez? And
hi,
then,
Chavez.
So then he also defended selecting Jack Smith. Jim Jordan tried to do a Jim Jordan bullshit. And he was like, did he ask for the job? Garland's like, that's not a job anybody would ask for.
Right.
And no, I don't have any regrets for selecting him, you asshole. And then, of course, Hunter came up. This is one of my favorites. Garland said, I have never spoken to Hunter Biden in my life.
It's just a bunch of bullshit. Like,
that's dumb.
Just frivolous.
It's insanity. So then a Democrat Rep Ted Lieu said, it is not the fault of the Department of Justice that Donald Trump has surrounded himself with criminals. Trump brought that upon himself. Like, stop it. He did this. True. And then so
we do have a Swalwell. I got the Swalwell one.
Yeah, that's a good one. So while you're setting it up, he brought up this: how many days it's been since Jim Jordan was subpoenaed, right? So he's refused to comply with the subpoena to testify on his involvement in a January 6th insurrection. It's been 754 days. Anytime he gets a chance to mention it, he does.
That's a long time.
he's keeping a counter. He's like
he got like one of them atomic clocks to just let you know any given time of day. It's been 14 seconds, 30 minutes, 28 days.
Yeah. So.
All right. So here we go.
Standing.
The shade.
And guys, I'm starting to think you're in a cult. That is your right, but it's not your responsibility. I promise you that's not what your constituents would want. So if you believe in states' rights, except when a jury in that state convicts your nominee for president, you might be in a cult. If you claim you back the blue but want to defund the police when the police go to your nominee's house to retrieve national security secrets, you might be in a cult. If you're supporting a guy whose felony convictions prevent him from getting a security clearance, you might be in a cult. And if the guy you're supporting for president has felony convictions that prevent him from going to Argentina, Australia, Brazil, Cambodia, Canada, Chile, China, Cuba, Dominican Republic, Egypt, Ethiopia, Hong Kong,
my motion
India,
takes precedent.
Indonesia, Iran, Ireland, Israel, Japan, Kenya, Macau, Malaysia, Mexico, Morocco, Nepal, New Zealand, Peru, Philippines, Singapore, South Africa, South Korea,
not Macau and Nepal.
Tunisia, Turkey, Ukraine, United Arab Emirates,
the gentleman has expired. The gentleman from Kentucky is recognized for 5 minutes. I'm asking the gentleman.
Asking the children. That's insanity. Oh my God.
Not Macau and Nepal, nigga.
United Emirates, like he listed every single country Donald Trump cannot travel to.
Ooh.
And then the guy next to him like this. They were like, your time is up. He's like, I don't hear you. I'm going to keep talking. It was great.
That is wild.
These guys are 5-year-olds up there. That's crazy.
But this is what you have to do. Like
they starting to learn. They starting to learn. Like in the past 2 weeks, like we've been the shade. They've been giving shade. Just and I feel like the person who kicked it all off to me was Hunter Biden. Remember the shit with Hunter when he popped back up in the news cycle when they were like the trial finna start and he basically was like, fuck all you motherfuckers. He was going the fuck off. Wasn't he in court or at a congressional hearing or something? He was sitting there like.
Well, Eric and Moskowitz, it's been a couple reps who've been like serving them all along. But yeah, but Hunter, because they kept saying, oh, you need to come do a deposition. And then they were doing a hearing about it and he just popped up like, what's up? I'm here.
Yeah.
What's up?
Hunter was standing there like, you know, with the mafia when they had a person come in and intimidate the witnesses and shit. It's like, who is he? It's like, oh, that's, you know, don't make eye contact.
Antoine, he was up there with like big dick energy. That's what he was.
I ain't heard that in a while. Oh, and I've seen it. He is not, you know, he you know, it's enough. I saw it.
Yep.
Ain't nobody gonna complain.
No. I mean, hey, Hunter. So also today, which we'll probably talk about on Friday, I'm gonna try to. The Republicans blocked the law that would have ensured a federal right to access contraception. We'll discuss that more in depth on Friday, but they stay just being assholes. So hygiene, Pepper.
Oh, Lord.
When you wash your body, what do you use in the shower, in the tub? Well, what is your process?
My process is I have the Smells Good gel stuff, which completely dries out my skins, which goes to this point. I do not need that shit because it dries out my skin, but it smells good. And then I am hands gel. Huh?
Yeah, what do you put it on?
My hands in the places.
Okay.
And then I wash off with the thing. And then that's the end. And sometimes I have a washcloth, sometimes I don't. And then that's it.
Loofah?
Oh, and I use my face. I have a loofah for my face.
Okay. So the washcloth is sometimes for you, not always.
It is not always.
Okay.
You know why? Because sometimes I forget, like I'm like, oh, I put the other one in the laundry and I forget to replace it. And then now you're in the shower and I'm like, okay, well, that's what's going to happen.
I don't know if Jason actually said wash your ass, Antoine, but I'll talk about it.
No, he did. So what happened with Jason was, because remember, this was going back and forth. And when he said, you hit the hot spots. And then somebody basically said to him, you nasty, you don't wash your ass. And then he said, of course, wash your ass. Your ass is one of the hot spots. So that's what he was saying. Yeah.
But how we got there, though, but Antoine, what is your process in the shower?
Well, with me, I do have a washcloth for, to get to the, the nooks and crannies. Because otherwise, if you don't, stuff will accumulate in those areas. And, you'll find out you funky. But there is scientific evidence that we do overwash. I just want to be clear. There are studies on it. So a lot of what we do is based a lot more on what society expects of us, because, because there's a reason that there's a thing with pheromones and everything. That's why, a lot of people, like, we wear deodorant to get rid of that smell, but that smell is part of the evolutionary process. It used to be a thing that it's. I know to us it sounds nasty today, but
that's why so many people are single. Deodorant.
But
I'm saying, if you want to be all cuddled up,
but I'm
gonna need some smell good.
But I also have seborrheic dermatitis. I have a skin condition, so with me, if I don't because I'll talk with, like, it's some people I'll talk to, they'll be like, they don't shower every day. Like, if I don't shower every day, everything just goes haywire. Like, it's problematic. So
really?
With me, it's not even just, well, I should say, with me, it's almost like I don't want to say a medical thing. If I don't do my due diligence, it turns into a nightmare. The average person don't have to deal with what I'm dealing with my skin condition and some of these other things. But I think it is a cultural thing. It seems to be, because this topic comes up on Twitter about once every 2.5 years. And
I think once a year, actually.
Yeah, because I'll tell y'all something that I used to love. I used to love them fucking loofahs, right? Some of y'all in the chat may enjoy using a loofah. Well, I did research on it one time, and the loofahs actually retain a lot of bacteria, and you can end up with a skin rash because of the bacteria that accumulates in the loofah. People don't clean the loofahs as much as they should.
They don't clean them as much as they should, nor do they either. You chuck it after 30 days, or you have to like wash it and like do a legitimate cleaning.
Yeah. Otherwise, the loofahs actually aren't good for you. But I love how sudsy, the suds and everything. But one thing I don't use the fancy body wash stuff. I use traditional soap. I use like Irish Spring or Zest. And you know what I also like? I also like there's one at Kroger. I like that company that makes the peppermint one, the Castile. They got the peppermint soap. Oh, yeah. Dr. Is it Bonner? Bonner. I love their shit. And
dude, I don't like the smell. It's too medicinal for me, that smell.
That's what I like about it. They got a lavender one too. The lavender one I like.
I'm trying.
Yeah. So yeah, I do. And I, especially I gotta have a washcloth to clean my butt. Are you just gonna are you just gonna do a coin slot and just do the bar of soap? Like what? Like, yeah. So I have to.
So yeah, I do a loofah and a washcloth. Okay. And I use usually Dove. Like, I don't use bars of soap anymore because it is too drying for my skin.
It is.
So I usually try and get one that is more nourishing, like just in terms of like the body wash part. And then you're not supposed to use like super hot water. I know everybody, like a lot of people do love taking hot showers, but that's not necessarily really good for your skin. Nor should you be like in there forever. You're supposed to pat dry when you get out. I have lotion and a body oil gel that I mix together, and that goes on my skin. But staying with the use of the washcloth and or a loofah. Jason Kelce said this. All of you have been fed diabolical lies that washing every crevice of your bodies and hair all the time is somehow better or healthier. Any dermatologist not in bed with big soap will agree. Hot spots are all that is necessary and actually leads to cleaner, healthier skin. Nigga, you ain't a dermatologist, but it's cool. Do you do what you're doing? That's fine. But this did launch off a whole conversation about who, once again, who uses washcloths and who does not. And as Antoine noted, typically it is cultural. There was a video, the guy was a black dude, I guess was like staying in a house with a bunch of friends, maybe that like an Airbnb. And he went and asked each person, and it was a good sampling of people. Every single white person was like, I use my hands. And so what are you talking about? And then this Latino dude was like, he's like gel with some, then he said washcloths usually if I like, based kind of like, you know, clever. Like he's like, if I have one, but no, typically a washcloth and gel, as the camera's going away from him, he's like, my mama taught me how to clean myself. Like he just yells it out loud.
He said never taught or did teach.
No, he's like, my mama taught me how to clean myself. Washcloth and gel. He was like, what are y'all talking about? What is this question going on?
I mean, sometimes like if it's like sometimes I have to use a washcloth. I have to use my ears, and sometimes even my nose, just anything, just something like in between my toes, just every. So yeah. Now I will say this: in a pinch, I don't feel like if I'm in a situation and I don't have a washcloth, I don't lose my mind over that. But if it's me in my, you know, in my surroundings and everything, I always have a washcloth. Yeah.
I use a towel sometimes if I forget. Like I'll just use the end of the towel and get it wet. Yeah.
So he also revealed that he only washes his hair once a month. And that he doesn't usually wear underwear except for compression shorts when he's working out or doing physical activities. Again, he provided all this information, so I'm just relaying it. And then someone said, well, looks like he doesn't wash his legs or feet. And he fired back with, what kind of weirdo washes their feet?
I think he was trying to be funny with that one.
I was about to say, and that has also been a part of the conversation. Last time this kind of thing came up was like, who washes their feet? And again, responses tended to fall along cultural lines. And then someone also noted, well, then how often are you changing your sheets? Like if you're not washing your feet all the time, like what's going on with the sheets?
I'm gonna tell you right now. Now the sheet thing is not as cultural as people think, because dudes are just nastier than women. Dudes do not change their sheets as often as they should. And I found that crosses cultural boundaries with that one. A lot of dudes are just nasty.
I'm aware. But that's also how, as Pepper said, you know, that's why some people are single. Because if I go over a nigga's house and your sheets is looking grimy.
Well, that's the problem.
At a minimum, you know you got company player. Like, come on, get together.
That's the thing.
If your towels smell, we're not in good shape here.
Yeah, that to me is
mildew smell. Mm-hmm.
That to me is like, sometimes everybody go through a difficult time. You could be going through a mental health crisis. It could be anything, right? So you know, you might have a day where you don't do nothing. You just literally don't get out of bed. So
right. So don't invite me over then. That's what I'm talking about.
I'm saying. Yeah. That's the thing that bothers me is that I'm real sensitive because I don't have people over very often. I'll push the dates back. Like I'm not in a good place right now, and I ain't finna have you all up in my spot when it ain't right. So that to me is the problem. You can live in your own little world, whatever, but when people come by, you gotta step it up. Make it look like when people come by, make it look like this what your fucking place look like every day. Oh yeah, we've got tons of clean towels, fresh linens, everything. Just you have to do this.
Look, no shade. If you in your house, especially if you live single, right? Like you by yourself, shower, don't shower. I give a fuck. Brush teeth, don't brush your teeth. Like if you're not engaging with the general public, and to your point, you ain't got nobody up under you. Who do you? Especially look during the pandemic, motherfuckers was chilling. Okay, like I could give a fuck, right? Like I'm moving around with the dog in my sweats. Gladys didn't put me out the house. We good, all right. So it's just I'm saying when you moving around in the world, or to your point, Antoine, when you bring people over. So I'm talking about So then there was a tweet that said, somebody wrote, sorry, I mean, that is pulled up. Somebody wrote, and the post has since been deleted. All of you, oh no, that's why. Okay, so then somebody responded to Jason Kelce, and it was like, "This is why y'all be smelling like wet dogs."
You know what? People have to stop saying that. They have to stop saying that.
That's gross.
Aggressive. I said it was aggressive.
Yeah, they have to stop that.
This one person wrote, "I run into working class Black people all the time who smell so aggressively of just soap that would make your eyes water. I don't say y'all know about it." Which launched off a whole other conversation about like what the fuck is
aggressively of soap,
and how is this a bad thing?
Yeah, I don't understand that. Oh yeah. Oh wait, y'all. This Allison one, I read that. I saw that last week. Allison, Shaq said that when he gets a pedicure, he gives about a 1,000 tip because I know my feet stink and I know they're ugly.
Aww.
Also,
that's very nice.
To add on top of that, so we have a really close friend who's an OB, and we be pumping her for like, okay, so what's the crazy story that you just had? Whatever. She'll never tell nobody's names because she knows she handles the business. But she did say one thing is people not washing their feet, right? So you would think, given like what she's like, got to stare down the whole tunnel of, that might be where some crazy smells are coming from. She's like, honestly, feet.
But you know what? I've always wondered this. Now, everybody's foot journey is different. So I see this shit because a look that I like the way low top shoes look, particularly on men, where it looks like you're not wearing socks. But I can't wear shoes without socks. If I wear any shoe without socks, them shoes gonna be walking by themselves in a couple weeks. Yeah. Now I can wear Crocs. Crocs are made out of an antibacterial type of rubber, so I can wear the Havanas, the flip flops. They also are made out of antibacterial rubber, so I can wear those and I don't have an issue. But just regular shoes, my feet go sweat and all that. But what I'm saying about this is, it's funny that you said she's an OBGYN. Women wear so many shoes without wearing socks. Some of y'all have to have funky feet from never wearing socks. Always putting your raw feet in the same shoe over and over and over again. Like, that has to call, because but I know people who can wear their shoes. They can wear shoes without socks in their feet. It don't get funky because it just depends on your own. But
feet.
Go ahead, Pepper. Look, I'm curious about your foot journey or feet journey, whatever Antoine said. But no, like that. But the low sock that is designed for wearing like in sneakers. Like I've bought many of those now.
I love those because it look like you're not wearing socks, but you actually are. That's why I love those. I own 8 pairs of those.
Yeah. Also, and again, look, you got a doctor's appointment. You're probably not thinking about your feet. But just as a note from a doctor, from an OB who was with your feet like right here by the nose, it's like
wait, no. I want to say something here. No, when I go to the doctor, I am very aware. I'm trying to be at the least level of funk when I'm in an intimate situation with my doctor. So, like, if I'm gonna be at the doctor, particularly like just even thinking of shoes or whatever, if I'm gonna go to the doctor. Well, yeah, because I don't do it either way. If I have flip-flops on when I go to the doctor, I'm wearing Havanas, so I don't have an odor issue when I'm wearing those because they're antibacterial. So, yeah. But here's the thing, too. Over time, certain shoes, just over time, they get to a point where I'm like, yeah, it's a wrap for these. It's a wrap for these.
It wasn't something that occurred to us until she said it. Like, I could see being concerned about smells in other areas of your body, but like, you're like, okay, I got my doctor's appointment. Like, let's say you took your shower, but if you want these people who don't wash your feet on a regular basis and while you're in the shower, or to your point, summer shoes, certain shoes, whatever. I just had never thought about it until she said it. I was like, huh, how about that? So
yeah. I totally could see that being an issue, particularly you up in the stirrups and somebody is in your nether regions and your feet right in their face. Yeah, give him some respect, ladies. Y'all nasty sometimes.
You know what? All right. So we need to wrap up because Pepper got an early flight. I have a flight. Niggas is tired. Antoine, it's Pride Month. Did you see the video that I put in to end this off on a good note?
I did not. Did you? You emailed it to me separately?
No, it's underneath the hygiene. It's
It's on the link.
Oh, yeah. Wait a minute.
Happy Pride Month.
Okay, I see it here. I told y'all.
Happy Pride Month, Antoine.
I promise y'all Friday we're going to have, things are going to be tighter.
Oh, that's what she said. No.
Oh,
maybe.
Oh, I did see this. Okay, let me do my little preview here so I can pull it up correctly.
So, and on Friday we will talk about 50 Cent had his ass on Capitol Hill today, just looking out for 50 Cent. So he ain't helping us.
Ain't that business as usual for him?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay,
He's goddamn right.
I'm so sorry.
Okay, here we go.
Just wondering, do you support like a type of LGBT ticket?
LGB.
Oh, LGBTQ. Nah, that's cool. We cool with that, right? We cool.
Yes.
Cool with that.
Her. She's like,
that's an ally.
It's like thugs can be allies. He's giving me thug all day. Like
I know.
I grew up with black people. My girlfriend is black. I'm a nigga too. That's what I'm getting from him. That's cool.
Like,
That's cool. That's cool.
We're cool with that. Yes. Ain't no problems over here. Right?
Yeah. Like, yeah.
You'd be amazed. You know what, people, because I have to be a little bit on the defensive because you don't know how people feel about different things, especially niggas. And I don't want to fight my whole goddamn life. Sometimes I'm just trying to have some drinks and be
exactly.
Yeah. But I dated a guy once whose brother was like a really high ranking blood. And I remember I met the brother, and like it was funny to me because what I'm trying to say here is that certain demographics of people that we make assumptions about, a lot of times they're way more progressive than you think they are. Sometimes you think, sometimes they could give two shits. They worrying about their own business. So yeah, we can't make blanket statements about that. And and I'm not saying that I know this. I don't have no experience with this, but you go on YouTube, you go on TikTok and shit, and you got motherfuckers that claim to expose a lot of gay shit to be happening within gangster culture. I don't know if that's true or not. I'm not a gangster. I'm not a street nigga. But
you ain't?
We are everywhere though. I will say that. We are everywhere. I know that much.
Facts.
But the best part of that video is how he pronounced it. He was like,
typo? She was like, it's LGBT. He was like, oh, okay, yeah, no, I'm familiar with that. I know about that.
You know what? Going back to the I tend to like more of less of the pretty boy types and more of like the like
other one,
the lumberjacks and the police, like that's blue collar, right? Blue collar, like
yes,
the everyday man.
Yes.
So I would literally pick Jason over Travis, but now that listening to what it's like, I don't know, because that's the thing. I love a big hairy man, but he got to be clean. He got to be clean.
Travis is given, I shower twice a day with loofahs and oils, and I don't know if that's accurate, but that's the vibe I'm getting from him.
Oh, you said from Travis?
Yeah, from Taylor's boyfriend.
The thing with Travis is too fucking manicured. Like Travis is the one that's like, I'll be sitting there, I'll order the spaghetti. I feel like Travis would be like, you go eat that? I'll be like, nigga, I'm eating the spaghetti. I feel like Travis would be like, I thought we was gonna be pretty today though. We was gonna be pretty. Spaghetti, all them carbs. Like, you want a protein bar? Let's go get manicures and eat protein bars. I feel like that's what Travis would say. Jason is like, nigga, where the steakhouse at? Let's go get some beers and some steaks, nigga. Yeah, I'd be more like, well, he wouldn't say nigga. I mean, he's, but,
I was waiting for that part.
Yeah,
Right.
so, yeah.
What's in your cup? And then we're wrapping up.
This one is water, and this one is a little bit of whiskey.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
Okay. Oh, also, there's enough money in the world to touch Shaq caliber stinky busted beach band feet. Yeah, Shaq's feet are jacked up. LeBron got fucked up feet too.
Beach band.
It ain't no, but you a millionaire. It ain't no reason your feet should be stinking. Go get it. You might have athlete's foot or something. And continue to tip them $1,000. But
that's so nice.
But hey, so Chavez is having an event this weekend on Saturday.
Oh.
It's Solnick.
All right, it's time.
Yeah, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's a special Solnick event.
I was like,
the regular Solnick is probably gonna be in August. This is an additional event. But I'm just letting y'all know. Just look, y'all know how to spell Solnick. Just look it up online. Yeah. I got tickets. Me and my brother are probably gonna go. So if any of y'all go on Saturday, y'all might, I might see you there. So just
good job,
Solnick. It's like picnic, but Solnick. So soul and then N-I-C. Okay.
Decades of beautifulness.
We gotta wrap. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you, Mr. Beautiful Smiley Face.
Thank you for having me here. It's nice to be with you guys. It's like being at home.
Yay. I gotta lay down. So
yeah, I'm looking at it right now. It's Solnick Live. So that's what distinguishes it from the other one, because there's live performances.
Great.
Yeah, a live performance by Tortured Soul. So yeah, let's try and go to
FOMO. You guys have a good time.
I'm gonna be in Indiana, so I'm missing it. So
okay.
Oh yeah, before we go, we may have to talk about this on the next episode. This black wife effect thing that I keep saying. Like,
did you see the Kerry Washington one?
No, wait. Kerry got a black husband.
The one with her and from Scandal, her and Tony.
They did one like.
I think somebody else put it together, but she shared it.
Oh, yeah, because I can see how that could be potentially offensive to somebody. Potentially,
everybody
just
seems to be taking it in stride. So Pepper, there's a TikTok. There's a challenge going on, whatever, called like the Black Wife Upgrade. So they're showing like, maybe we can do one with you and Matt.
I'm like, oh my God, we got an opportunity sitting right here.
They're doing pictures of people like the guys from, and it's not just a white guy, it could be Asian guy, just a non-black guy from high school, like early college years, glasses, whatever. And then they show, here's the girlfriend or now wife, and got the fit together, hair is like, like laid. It's like black wife effect. So yeah.
I would have to say there is some of, where is he? Well, there's some of that happening.
Go Matt! Go Matt! Go Matt!
He is loved. He's always, he will say it. He would say it out loud. Oh, that's nice. I love you guys.
Love you too.
Listen, I'll see you niggas Friday. I'm gonna have more energy then. I promise I'm gonna get some sleep.
Bye.
Tools to you niggas.